Hi everybody, it's Ruthless Jobber here. Welcome back to the channel, and this is episode 55 of A Broken Heart, WCW 1998. It's Monday the 16th of November. We are heading towards Mayhem, and we kick off tonight's Nitro with some pre-show matches. We've got the Barbarian taking on Jim Duggan. Just wanted to get a few different guys on the card that I don't sort of normally use, or normally sort of, I would never sort of think of like the Barbarian, but why not? And what do we get? So I don't pick the winners for most pre-show matches. And we get the Barbarian getting a win in 11 minutes 48 by pinfall with the Kick of Fear. 52 wrestling, 45 crowd, 58 segment. Chavo Guerrero Jr. and Sean Morley take on Psychotic. We get a decent pre-show match. Psychotic get the win in 11 minutes 12 when Psychosis forced Sean Morley to submit. Sean Morley was the weak link. 54 wrestling, 36 crowd, 60 for the segment overall. Isn't too bad, I suppose. Eddie Guerrero takes on John Kronos in our final pre-show match, and it's Guerrero getting the win in a decent pre-show match, it says there. He gets it in 13 minutes 37 by submission with a gory special. 56 wrestling rating, 49 crowd, 66 overall for the segment. Yeah, again, not too bad, really. Eddie Guerrero getting an 80. That's, I know Eddie's like miles ahead of John Kronos, but in a pre-show match, that's a pretty decent score. Let's head into the main show then. The Outsiders cut a promo, and the first thing they sort of mention is tonight's main event. Let's talk about tonight's main event. And Hogan and Brett appear almost immediately. They kind of anticipate that Scott Hall and Kevin Nash just straight away want to be involved in the main event again and probably involve themselves. But Hogan sort of says that I think everyone's getting a bit sick and tired of seeing you two guys, and us two, to be honest, in every main event every week. But the Outsiders actually, do you know what? We agree. We think you're absolutely right. And that's why we have instrumented with the WCW committee a different main event tonight. You two guys will take on the team of Lex Luger and Kurt Hennig. Totally Perfect. So yeah, just to get something a little bit different with the main event. Still wanted sort of Brett and Hogan in there somewhere, but yeah, I don't want the Outsiders against Brett and Hogan every single week. So yeah, why not? And let's get Totally Perfect in a main event. So Totally Perfect come out. Kurt Hennig sort of cuts a promo. Lex Luger's not quite so good on the mic, so just sort of have him there for a bit of the, he's got the star quality, that sort of thing. But we do get an 88 for this, which is really good. Lots of green, and the main storyline we've got, the New Friends Old Enemies storyline, did gain heat. We've then got a taped angle. It's kind of, we've done it as an outside broadcast, but it's just a taped angle, really, of Mortis and Raph challenging Goldberg to a handicap match. Just, again, something different, and we've done it as an outside broadcast to get the different varied kind of angles. What an absolute disaster of an angle, though. So we've got Raph and his manager, James Vandenberg, being an awkward pairing. We'll probably have to look at that then. Yeah, Raph has been injured for a couple of weeks as well, so he's sort of been unavailable. So yeah, why not get him on the card? So this is just as I say, an outside broadcast taped angle setting up this match, which we have got next. The match gets a 72. Well, that's I'm surprised at that, actually. Good heat and decent wrestling. Goldberg gets the win. Of course he does. In 11 minutes, 11 seconds, he pinned Raph with the spear. Goldberg carried the match, and Raph was the weak link. So 60 for the wrestling, 57 crowd, and yeah, 72 overall. Really pleased with that one. Gorilla Monsoon is backstage, and he announces a few more entrance into the gauntlet match to take place at Mayhem. This only gets a 59. I don't quite know what's happened there. But he announces Bam Bam Bigelow, Sid Vicious, and Buff Bagwell. They will be entering the gauntlet match to take place at Mayhem, with the winner receiving a title shot at Starrcade. I want to have a quick look at the dirt sheet. Why have we must have had lots of, no, I mean, bonus for decent improvisation, bonus for hot new catchphrase, bonus for high morale, bonus from the agent work of Randy Savage, but penalised for poor gimmick from Gorilla. 59 is really bad. Yeah, I'd love to know a little bit more detail on why that was so low. Then we've got a promo from Bam Bam Bigelow, and he is cutting it on the Giant. Not much to say about this one. As you know, I don't go into great detail with most of my angles and interviews and that sort of thing. but it's just to keep the storyline going. Unfortunately, it lost heat. We got a 68 overall. I can't remember if this one was. I'm sure I did this one as backstage. I might start making a note actually as to where I'm. Yeah, held backstage. I might just start making a note in the main text. I do sometimes if I do like a taped angle or something like that. And we get a 66 rating here as Kurt Angle takes on and defeats Six. So in 7 minutes 49, by submission with the ankle lock, yeah, we are pushing Kurt Angle. We're pretty much pushing him to the moon, I've got to be honest. And he gets it here, as I said, 7 minutes 49, 57 wrestling, 45 crowd, 66 overall. I mean, that will improve. Certainly the crowd will improve as Kurt Angle gains pop. He is already recognisable. It took us, 2 weeks, I think, to get him there? Oh, I've got a little bit of news for you as well in a minute. Yeah, very pleased with something that's happened. You can probably guess already. Yeah, good one this. Pleased with this. Kurt Angle still getting over, still getting victories. Post-match, Kurt Angle taunts Six, kind of knocks him around a little bit. I didn't do it as fighting or like an attack angle because he's just maybe just slapping him around a little bit and just taunting him. We are building to something here. Kurt Angle is turning into something of a bully. 62 rating for this one. And then a taped angle with Chris Jericho and Booker T just promoting their feud. That's it, nothing more than that. Unfortunately, the feud did lose heat, but we get a rating of 71, which shows the feud is already quite high. Anthony Durant and Disco Inferno take on Royalty. Steven Regal has jumped from unimportant to recognisable. I didn't notice at the time. I can't remember if it was on the last episode or the episode before. I basically spammed character ideas with him in the hope that it would boost his momentum. I mean, we didn't get positive momentum, but he has gone up to recognisable, finally. So yeah, we get here a decent match, and Royalty get the win in 9 minutes 4 seconds. Steven Regal submitted Anthony Durant with a Regal stretch, and this was our storytelling match. I guess the storytelling aspect is just Steven Regal just wins every single match he's in. I guess he's on a bit of a streak like Goldberg, really. I mean, we can maybe take our foot off the gas with that a little bit now that we've finally got him to recognisable, but we'll have to see. 50 wrestling rating, 40 crowd, 61 overall. Yeah, Terry Taylor is still injured. I don't want to not use him though. Again, for the whole the Steven Regal thing. It's I think it was chronic lower back pain. Hopefully he'll get over that soon. Sting approaches Randy Savage. Well, we've got a bit of an angle here. We've got Randy Savage, first of all. I should have written it all out, actually. Randy Savage is sort of flirting with Lisa Moretti backstage. Now, we've only signed Lisa Moretti on for a one-night deal. We've got one woman on the roster, and that's Elizabeth. And there's no way I could have him flirt with Elizabeth. So, yeah, he's just kind of flirting. Maybe there's a little bit of a comedy aspect in there. Yeah, just to do something a little bit different, really. Maybe we'll think about introducing a few more women and having a few kind of angles in there. I don't know, but Randy Savage flirting with Lisa Moretti, and Sting kind of comes in and interrupts. And you got Randy Savage kind of looking around like, oh, did anyone see that? Did anyone see me trying to pick up this lady here? And then Sting, he asks, I would like a slot in the gauntlet match. And Randy Savage like, you're the biggest star in WCW historically, and you're a great wrestler. Of course, I'm going to put you in the gauntlet match. The announcement was going to come anyway, but yes, we are putting you in the gauntlet match. And then Sting's like very thankful, walks off, and then Conan comes along almost straight away. And again, Randy Savage is kind of like, what's going on here? I'm popular today. And Conan asks for a slot in the gauntlet match, and Randy Savage is a little bit, you're not quite on Sting's level. But I tell you what, you got to prove yourself. You'll take on Chris Benoit next week, and if you can beat Benoit, then you will have a slot in the gauntlet match. This is just to set up a match for next week. We don't do this sort of thing very, very often where we have, this is going to take place next week. And, I'm going to try and sort of do a little bit more of that. We've got a gimmick change. Oh, that'll be for Lisa Moretti, won't it? But as I say, one night deal, adequate, yeah, not over important. We'll see if we ever get to use her again. Rating of 77 for this. Big Van Vader takes on Rob Van Dam in a wild brawl. Great heat and good wrestling. Big Van Vader gets the win in 12 minutes 10 seconds. He wins it by a pinfall with a Vader bomb after Teddy Long interfered. So, I mean, to some extent we're trying to push Rob Van Dam, but, I don't want to bury Vader either. So, I mean, let's keep him quite strong at the moment. 67 wrestling, 67 crowd, and 65 for the segment overall. And then post-match, we get Vader cutting a promo on Goldberg. Literally just, just a promo on Goldberg. Again, nothing more. No, not too many details to go into here. And then Goldberg appears and they just start arguing with each other, cutting promos on each other. And then Vader attacks Goldberg. Sid comes in to help because he's sort of involved in this feud as well. But then surprisingly, for some reason, Raven comes in and helps. Just gets a couple of boots in. Raven's actually got a match coming up. And when sort of the ring clears, road agents come in and the ring clears. Obviously, they leave Raven there because they know he's got a match. Raven picks up the microphone and says, "I'm just, what Goldberg had no business coming out here and extending that segment there for Vader and, interrupting the time that I should have had for my match." That's all that this is really. The streak storyline gained heat with this, so yeah, very pleased. 78 overall. And then we've got Raven's match as he takes on Diamond Dallas Page. Great heat and decent wrestling. Diamond Dallas Page got the victory in 8 minutes 56 by disqualification. 64 wrestling, 64 crowd, and 75 for the segment. Pretty good. A couple of green bits there, always like to see. And then we've got Gene Okerlund interviewing Totally Perfect pre-match against Bret Hart and Hollywood Hogan. 75 rating, yeah, some really good. Lex Luger did do well on the script. Okay, maybe we can sort of rethink that. I wouldn't have thought he would have been quite as good as Kurt Hennig. But yeah, decent segment. Let's go to the main event. 93. Wow, things are really getting better with this save, I think. In an exceptional match, Bret Hart and Hollywood Hogan defeated Totally Perfect in 17 minutes 15 when Hollywood Hogan pinned Lex Luger with a Hollywood leg drop after Lex Luger got wiped out after a spot of partner miscommunication. So during the match, we also had Scott Hall distract Bret Hart, and Kevin Nash came in to distract Hogan. Of course we did, because they're feuding. This miscommunication, I just didn't want them to look bad. So rather than just sort of a clean victory, there's just miscommunication. We're not planning on splitting this team. We're not planning on turning either of these face. Yeah, it was just a means to an end, really. So we got 81 for the wrestling, 86 crowd, and 93 overall. I've never had a 100 in TEW. I probably don't play long enough or big enough companies to ever do it. But yeah, I'd love to see us get a 100 before this series closes out. So we had the storyline gain heat again, which is really, really good. Yeah, totally pleased with that one. Let's go to the final segment then. And you've probably guessed, it's not really so much of a brawl, but the Outsiders and Totally Perfect attack Bret and Hogan. Yeah, just to sort of close out the show. The storyline lost heat with this one, that's a shame. But 73 overall. What do we get for the show? 86. Things are looking up. If I can keep this momentum going. Yes, it does mean having Bret, Hogan, or the Outsiders in most main events. I don't want that every week, but at the moment, wow, I mean, we've got to think about just maximising our major stars and our top major stars in our main events. Yeah, gaining popularity in 30 regions. Financial report gained just over 300,000, and popularity report. Yeah, so where did we go? We even gained some more pop in the US. I think as soon as our cooling off period is over, we're going to go back up to big, aren't we? I think we've got to, really. Just a few emails. Rey Mysterio Jr. has returned from injury. Gene Okerlund has an opinion. Chavo Guerrero Jr. has charisma. And Goldberg has an opinion. Anthony Durant doesn't connect with the fans. Well, come on, give him a chance. He's only a jobber. And Monday Night Nitro figures. Okay, all good stuff. I want to have a quick look at the roster. I want to show you the Steven Regal. Hopefully after that match he's still recognisable. I guess it's possible he could go down, but let's have a look. Perception, recognisable, Steven Regal. Finally. Yeah, I mean, I know I gave up with him. I don't really know whether I want to push him now. I mean, I did sort of announce last week that this series will be coming to an end, probably around about Great American Bash time. I want a conclusion to it. I've got a couple of other little ideas that I want to do for series. I want a series where I really, really delve deep into storylines, promos, really start almost scripting stuff. I don't want episodes to be going on for half an hour, but I just want a little bit more detail. I really want to sort of, write storylines, plan shows well in advance. Got a couple of little ideas, but yeah, so this one will be coming to an end soon, but nothing to worry about just yet. It's not coming to an end just yet. Okay, I think that's probably the end of this episode. Nothing else to go through, really. We've got so much money. I might start looking at bringing a few more guys in, actually. I mean, I'm only thinking if I can get some bigger stars from WWF when their contracts are up. I don't know. I'm probably going to take a look, actually, and see when their big guys' contracts are up, actually, because if no one's sort of coming, within the next year, there will be no point, because as I've already said, I'm closing this series out. But yeah, I might have a look and see who's available, just to freshen the roster up a little bit. But I hope you've enjoyed this one. Please give a like and subscribe, and I will see you all again soon. Take care. Goodbye.